Hi guys, welcome to DevOpsSchool. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Git. Git is a free and open source distributed version control system which tracking the changes in source code during software development with speed and efficiency. It is designed for coordinating work among programmers and used to track changes in any set of files. After going through this session, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Git will be absolutely clear to you.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOpsSchool certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
So guys, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'll be your trainer for the day. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at DevOps@Rajesh Kumar or contact@DevOpsSchool.com. So yes, these are the places where you can reach it, DevOpsSchool.com. So today I'm going to talk about the Git. It's a very interesting topic actually. Git is one of the kind of tool which we all use in a software engineering project. So it's one of the good tool to know. So first question is, what is Git? What is Git? So when we talk about the Git, we all talk about, okay, it's a source code versioning tool, basically versioning tool for what? Source code management. Source code management. Now these are the things which we all know that, but one of the feature which we have, which is making the Git different from other tools, and that is called distributed. Okay, so what is the meaning of the distributed? This I will talk about it in a little bit of time. But yes, it's one of the versioning tool. It is a source code management tool. It is a free, it is a open source, and again here in terms of popularity, you know, that's like a very popular tool, so we are learning for it. This is developed by the guy who is the father of Linux also, Linus Torvald. Okay, so he's the one who developed this particular tool. Okay, Torvald. Okay, so this is the little bit of introduction about the what is Git. Now the question is, why Git? Why Git? Because if you say, okay, you want to do the versioning, then there was other tools also, right? There were other tools also we were using. So we started with a RCS, right? We started with RCS, then we got into CVS, then we got in SVN, right? All this thing is an open source tool. Some of the commercial tools also we have used it, like a Perforce, we have a TFS, right? All these tools we have used, Mercury. So all these tools we have used so many times. But why we are using Git? Why Git? And the reason for the Git is it's distributed, because it will do all of everything like versioning, source code management, and all stuff like that. It will do that, but it is a distributed, and that's one of the reason why we use Git. And every developers love this feature. Now the question is, what is distributed? What is distributed? So when we want to know what is a distributed, then you have to compare server and client model. Okay, server and client model. So here all these tools which I talked about it here, this is a server and client model, whereas Git is distributed. So now what is the difference between the these two, distributed versus servers and client model? So let's try to understand here. Now I'll depict the picture of the server and first server and client model. So now in the server and client model, first what we have, there is one server, okay, and in this server there is one repository. This is a repository, and when I say repository, this contains two things here: files, okay, understand that, files and metadata. Metadata means what? Metadata means what? Metadata means gives you who has modified this code, modify, who has modify this code, when it got modified, modified, why this got modified, modified, where is that? So all these things, or this question's answer will come from the metadata, okay, and the files, the one source code. So in the repository you have two things: one is a file, one is a metadata. So now second thing is, in this repository there's one layer on top of that is been written. That's a tool which you can say, tools which you can say like SVN, Perforce and all. So now this is called server. This, the green one which is managing the repository, it may have a multiple repository by the way, which is basically a server. Now how can you access it? This one typically we access through the IP address. So this node we have IP address. So now this is the laptop workstation which you can call it. So here you don't have a, here you install the client, here install the client, here install the client, and this client communicate to the server through IP address, port, username and password, okay, all this client, and fetch this only file, source code you get it, okay. Now not meta information. So meta information is there in the server itself. So now if you want to add any information, think about it, if you want to add any files, this need to be connected. If you want to delete any file, this need to be connected. If you want to modify some files here, this need to be connected. So network is needed. This network is needed to all of the workstation to work. Why? Because the repository is somewhere in the central location. So this is called, we call it server, this is called client, and through our laptop workstations and all, we connect through the network. That's the problem here. So this is called server and client model, and all these server and client model like SBN, CVS, Perforce, TFS, these all the tools were based on the server and client model. Now the question is, what is a distributed means? So in a distributed means, what happens? Let's say there's a four guys in a team. So all of you, this is the laptop. I need to create a different kind of icons. So this is one workstation. There's no server actually. In the distributed model, there is no server. Okay, this is the laptop, and this is laptop. So all these laptop do have repository. So if you want to do the versioning of your source code, you can store in your own repository. If you want to do the versioning, you can store in the own repository. So see here in this server and client model, we had a server only one and repository only one, but here everyone is having their own repository. Here also own repository. So everyone in this Git culture, you have a repository. Okay, in a simple way, if you want to work with a Git, that means if you want to do the versioning of your source code, you have your own repository, and you are not versioning here, you are not versioning other machine, you are versioning in your same source code, the same repository which is located in your machine only. Okay, now you must be wondering, okay, fine, I can do my versioning in my own repository, this guy also can do his own repository, this guy can also do in his own repository, how do we collaborate? Because here is a central, right? At least we all are working together on the one copy. How do we collaborate? So basically these repository, we need to sync with each other, and that is how you can collaborate with each other. Repository sync, remember. So in this server and client model, Here you have one repository and everyone commit and the history is being stored here. But in this distributed model, everyone has a history actually. So basically one repository got cloned to 4 machines and everyone is working in their own repository against own repository, and ultimately all these repositories getting synced with each other. So this model, you call it distributed model, and in this model Git is based on the distributed. That means there is no server. Git has no server. If you want to work with Git, that means if you want to version your source code, you want to find out who has modified the source code, when it got modified, why it got modified, where it is that, and all this thing, you want to store this information using Git. That means you have to store in your own repository that is located in your own laptop. Make sense, guys? Did you understand that? What is the difference between distributed and server and client? Understood that?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so now next question is, okay, fine. Uh, next question is how to install Git. How to install Git. So guys, it depends on your operating system. If it is a Windows, if it is a Linux, or if it is a Mac, depends on what you are using. So let's say if you're using Windows, directly go to the this website git-scm, okay, .com, and the moment if you open from the Windows, okay, if you open from the Windows download button, you get it, and you can download from the Windows. See, it's executable, you can download for this. So here you install that in this one. Now if you are installing through Linux, let's say multiple commands, you can use it like yum install get apt get install in Ubuntu. So these are the very popular commands, you can do that. Okay, if you're using for the Mac, if you browse this same website through the Mac machine, you will get the Mac DMG file. So yes, how you want to install this, it's up to you. Now typically the training which I do, let me tell you, you can use any tools actually, uh, because Git behavior, Git commands and all, it's not changing. But here actually, if you're on Windows, if you install through the Windows, here you get 2 tools. Here if you install it, you get one Git CMD, another one you get Git Bash. So there's one tool which you have, a Git Bash is very good tool actually. So here Git Bash, basically you can use this tool to run basic Linux command in Windows only without having Windows operating system. So it's very one of the wonderful utility, and color combination online is very good actually. So if I see here, I've installed this one. So if I show you here, see I did the Git. Here you have a Git CMD, which in fact it got deprecated, and Git Bash, which is a very powerful command. So here I can use the Linux command in a Windows itself using the Git Bash, and same time Git command also. Very good color combinations and all. It's very easy to learn actually. Now again, anyways which you want to install, you can get started actually. So this is the Git Bash. I got it. It's already installed, so you have to install. Now the next question is after installing, what is the workflow? Basic workflow. I'm talking about the basic workflow. Basic workflow in Git. So basic workflow in a Git, that means how to can we start working together in the Git. So remember, you'll have to have your own repository. You do the source code management in your own repository. So first thing, right, guys, here I'll put it in the step 1, step 2, like that. So let me put it up. Okay, so first thing, step 1, create your own repo. That's the first step. Create your own repo. Second thing, yeah, have your files, whichever you want to version, that files, whatever you want to version, code, whatever you do. Then third step is add these files to Git. Why you want to get you want to add Git? Because you want to version the source code, because every day you modify, you want to keep a track of history of that source code. What was modified yesterday, what was modified day before yesterday, what will be modified today, all these things you want to version, so you have to add it. Okay, and then you have to commit of files, and then see the logs, see logs. So this is the 1, 2, 3 steps, and 4 and 5 and 6 actually. 6. 1, 2, 3, I guess. Sorry, I made a problem. Anyways, 3 let it be. Here, 4 here, 5 here. So this is the steps we have to follow. Create your own repo, have your files which you want to version, add these files into the Git, commit a files into the Git, add file commit of files into Git, okay, into Git, and CL log files, CL committed logs. So these are the basic workflow working with the Git. So what I will do, let's check it out. Here I go to the E drive. So cd E drive. I'm in the E drive right now. So yes, this is all the Linux command will work. The structure will not be like a Windows. You will see that in a little bit different way, and start using it. You will love it. So this is the one. So here inside that, if I do ls, I see in the E drive so many directories. So I'll create one directory which is a Git. I created a Git. I got into this directory. I am inside the Git directory, right? I'm inside the Git directory. So if you look at this here, first thing step, what I want to do, create my own repo. How can I create my own repo? Git init. So here I initialize empty Git repository. You see here, this is my repository. See here, empty Git repository. So this is my repository. Can you see it? Yeah. See, you cannot see it because it's a hidden directory. Be mindful about it. So here it will be hidden directory, and in my Windows Explorer, I have enabled the hidden files and folders. So that's the reason you can see that. Others you'll not be able to see by default. So yes, this is your repository. So repository which I was talking about here. Remember, repository has two things: one file and one is version. The version meta information. For example, all this information. So step one is done, guys. After that, have my few files. So what do we do now? That have some few files. So I'll create those files manually just for the demo purpose. See here, some codes. So create one file here. This is the file 1.java, something like that. Okay, fake files I'm creating. And this is the file 2.java. So these are the fake files I'm creating. The source code which I want to version it. So this file can be copied also. Can be some data also I should put. Only one line of the data I'll put here. See here. This is DevOps school. Okay, I close this, and here second file, this is DevOps. Okay, so two files I modify here. This I want to version. So every day you want to modify, every day you want to version these files. Okay, so what do we do actually? So here the steps, if you read it, here. Now add these files into Git. So I got this file. Second step is completed. Add these files into the Git. So how do we add it? So here git add file 1.java. I added one file. You want to add more files, you can add more files. You can add every files, you can add every files, but I'll go with the one right now. Okay, this file I want to version it. Versioning means I want to keep a track of these files every day. What are the modification I'm doing on these files? So here. So this is also done. Now commit a files into this. Yes. So now you must be wondering, okay, I am committing, but the question is, how do we locate who are you, who has committed this file, right? How do you come to know why you committed this file? Because I can commit directly, but how, let's say if I share my commit with you, how these other people will come to know this is me? Here there's no user ID and password. If you look at this in the server and client model, you had a user ID and password, so you could log into the server. But because you are working in the local repository only, there is no user ID and password. So the question is, how do we come to know who is committing it? So actually for that, guys, there's a one-time information you have to set. It's the first time, one time actually, before committing it. one time. You have to set your name and email address. Let me tell you here, there is no relationship with the password or whatever it is. You can set any name, any email address, and that name and email address will be the identity to the commit actually. So that means if anyone wants to know who is committed, that name and email address will be shown. Simple. So here git config user dot name. How do we set the username? Rajesh Kumar. Email address Rajesh Kumar dot xyz. Okay. So guys, this is the one time you have to set up for every new repository. You have to set up this one time. So can I set it up? Let's set it up. Done. Done. How do we see that, by the way? So if you want to validate if the thing is there or not, you can run this command. Here it is. See here, last two lines you see, Rajesh Kumar and DevOpsSchool. So guys, this is the way. So this is the way you can set this. After that, you can commit here, commit this thing. How can you commit? Git commit and give the reason why you are committing, adding first file and enter. Guys, I committed. See here, one file change. I added only one file, remember, and only one insertion. So that remember, I added only one file and one line only. That's the reason you have one insertion. So Git tracks each insertion, deletion, or whatever it is, modification. So very important. So with that, I run for this. I run git init. For this, whatever the editor you can use it. For this command, I use git add file name, and after that one time activities, this one, then commit edit. Now we want to see that here. So look at this here, git logs. Okay, and I have only one commit in this repository, not logs, log I guess. Yeah. So here, now look at this here. Versioning is done. This file is got to stored where? In the repository.git. So here, who has modified this code? So if you, after some time, if you say, let's say tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you want to see this, who has committed this code? So Rajesh Kumar, email address. When it was modified, you have a date. And why this got modified? Because of this reason. And where is that file? So git show and then commit ID. This is the commit ID. There's no revision concept. It's there in the root file itself, root location. So now if you see here, I could do that, all this stuff very well in the basic workflow commands. So git log. So it's very easy to use and keep doing this one. So here you modify some files here, add commit show, add commit show, add commit show. Simple. So this is how you have to do that. But you know one thing, guys, this is not a correct picture of Git. Actually speaking, this is not a correct picture. I would like to show you one image which will help you to get the correct picture. So now what happens? Look at this. First I'll show you here. This is the directory Git. Inside that, this is the file I have here. Okay, and this is the repository, and this is the workspace, you can say like that. So we need to understand that how it works. So let me take you to the one slide I'm going to share with you. Only one slide I needed. And Okay, so just look at this one slide I want to show you. And while working with Git, please hard code this stuff. It's very important for all of you. Hard code in your mind this image, because if you forget this image, it's very difficult you to work with Git. Very difficult. Okay, so what is this workflow? Now, if you look at this in the Git, basically there are three areas. There are three areas. So we think adding, committing is so easy. No, there are three areas which we interact. Okay, working directory, staging area, repository. Working directory, staging area, repository. Look at this one more time. From working directory, if you want to send the file to the staging area, then we use the git add command. And remember, commit command will send that from the staging to repository. So you think if you are sending from working directory to the repository through the commit command, no. So when you do add, I did add and commit. If you remember, I did two commands, add and commit. So when you add, it will send the file from working directory to staging area, and from the staging area, commit will send that to the repository. So here I'll put it in my own way actually. See, simple here, guys. This is my directory. This is my directory. Okay, and here I am working. This is me. I have two eyes, one nose, two ear, two hand, two leg, all this thing I have. So I can work, I'm the human being, right? I can work at only one place for source code. So the place where you work, that place is called working directory. So now in terms of working directory, here, what is my working directory? So see, this is a directory which is I'm working. Here I have a source code. Here I'm modifying the source code. Here I'm modifying. Every day I work, modify, compile, check, again modify, compile, check, again modify, compile, check. Every day I modify these files here. So if you can incorporate more file actually here. So keep writing of files here. Okay, so this is my working directory, and this is the only one. Now I modify today, let's say I modify here. So I send my changes to this place, and this place we call it a staging area. Now why staging area? A staging area, you can consider this as a review place. Let's say, how do you know what are the changes today you made it from yesterday? How do you know? Because here you have a latest code. Here you have a latest code which you are modifying. But today how much code I modified, how do I know? So basically here, this is the repository. So this is the 1 day version, 2 day version, 3 day version. I mean, it's not 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 commit, 2 commit, 3 commit, 4th commit, like that. So here in the repository, all the version is being stored. So here, staging area is required for two reasons. One is like you want to see the difference between this and this. Then you can use this. Or you want to find out before committing, you want to review this code, whether it's correct or not. Then also you can do that. Okay, so very simple. So here, from here, guys, look at this. From the working directory to staging, you can send the file from add command, and from staging to repository, you can use commit command. Okay, so now if I look at this, and how can you see the files which is there in the staging, this area, staging area? So the command is git status. Look at this. Right now it says untracked file. Git is not able to track this file. That means this file, the three files which you see here, it's here, and Git has no don't have this file. Staging area also don't have this file. That's the company is saying untracked file. That means these are the files is there in workspace, but it will be committed. It's not tracked. If you want to track this file, add, see here, git add. So this file, the file which I committed, see here, it's not showing the file 1.java. Remember, Look at this very carefully. It's not complaining about the file1 Java. File1.java is here, but it's gone here also. So it's not complaining. If I show you, look at this here. When I see status, file1 is there, but actually it's not showing in the status. Why? Because the file1, the version which has gone to this repository. So I will not report back that's the difference. There's no difference actually. Whatever you have here, it's gone to the repository. So that's the reason status will not show you that file. Okay, so here it shows the file only the difference from the repository. So here this is the difference. Now can I add one more file here? Look at this here, file2.java. Now look at this here. Okay, same file, you have a file, clear the screen and git status one more time. Look at this. So now it's a new file. So git is reporting, okay, this is a new file which you are trying to move this file from here to here. You moved it. Now the file is in staging area. Let me show you here. See here, it says unstage. That means this is in staging area, then only they are suggesting you to unstage. So this is in staging area, this is still in working directory. So see here, two files still there, one file is here, and that the one file which here also, so no report, because this is sync. Sync means it's already versioned. There's no changes on top of that. So this is untracked file. Now how can I do that? Send that all the file to staging area dot everything. Now you see here, everything gone to staging area. Now from there you want to commit, git commit -m, adding second files. Okay, and now you see here git status saying nothing to commit, working tree is clean. What does that mean? That means very simple. Meaning is very simple. That means whatever you have in file here, those files are here also. So there is no delta which has changed. So there is no report. Again, if I change the file, again let me change the file here. I'm manually changing the file. I modify the source code. I'm very good developer. So I'm writing a very good source code, and I completed my source code. Done. Okay. Now I want to know what is the change, which file. I don't remember which file because I modified 10-20 files. Status, I got to know. Okay, this is the file, some changes are there in this file. Okay, git diff, this file, these changes is there, which has not gone to which place? This place, repository. So they are complaining about it. So what need to be done? So these changes also need to be added. So remember that rule, git add dot. Now you see here status. See, this is in a staging area. Earlier it was in working directory, now staging area, and now again you commit, it will go from the commit, third commit, and then now if you do stages one more time, done. So guys, actually if you look at this, think about it, here you have three areas where you work. This is the working directory, this is working directory, this is working directory, this is staging area, and this is the repository where the version is being stored. So you work here and you keep sending the files from here to here like this, keep versioning in the same repository. So guys, did you understand this importance of this image? This image, everyone?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So this is the kind of thing. So now if you look at this, you should correct this statement. When I say add this file into Git, it's a wrong statement, right? It should say working directory to staging area. Okay, staging area. Remember always. And now this statement also wrong. It says work staging area to repository, which is a repository .git. Okay, area. Now you must be wondering, where is the staging area? Can I see it? Actually you cannot see it, guys, because it's encapsulated. So here if you go, this is your repository, but actually whatever the commit you do, it gets stored in this directory, objects directory. Now you must be wondering, where is the staging area? Staging area you can see here. This is the one. You cannot open up this file. It's a binary. You cannot see from eyes. It's a binary. So if you do the git status, then only you will come to know what is there in this location. So it's encapsulated actually. You cannot without a command you cannot interact with this area. But objects here, all the commits is got stored in the objects. So now you must be wondering how it gets stored. That's a very interesting topic actually. I will not get into deep dive into that because you get lots of confusion. I don't want you to get lost in the internals of Git. But yes, using the Git. So now what is this? These are the logs. So can we define this? What is this? So guys, this is, we call it checksum. What we call it? Checksum by SHA-1 algorithm. Remember, this is the checksum. What is this? So anything you commit, that may be one file changes or thousands of files, they keep it in one object and they identify. See, think about it. Anything you commit, they keep it in one place or one object. Basically they identify that object by this checksum. There's no revision concept. It's not like 1 2 3 4 5 6. No. Now who's generating this checksum? By SHA-1. This is a universally unique, by the way. Okay, so here you see there's a one checksum got generated. This is the one checksum, and each checksum they have their own parent checksum. That means if you committed here this one, so for this is the super parent. First commit is a super parent. This is a child of this. This is a child of this. So that way, if you check out this one, you get their parents also. It's like this relationship. Okay, so if I check out this one, I get only these two. I'll show you here. So I did the 3 commit. No, let me show you here. Let me show you. So here I have how many commits I have. I'll put it in a short way, one line, short way. And you see here I got a 3 commit. And now how many files you have? So many files. I want to now what I want, reverse way I want to do. That means what? Let me clear this image. So now you have a 1 version, 2 version, and 3 version. Now here you have a latest. Now what you want revert way? See, you are sending from here to here, correct? But this time what I want, because I want to check that who modified at that time, what was the source code. So I will revert back this one in the workspace. So what we call it, we call it checkout process. Check out the one which is of the older revision or the any revision, whatever, because it's all about the tool, right? This tool is designed for the versioning only. So I should check it out any code. So what I will do, get checkout. Checkout means get that version from the repository and give me that in the workspace, so working directory here. Okay, so here I did it, sort code, and you see here right now I'm on that 8 and you see the source code. You want to go to the one version little bit older. See here, first version you want to go, check out, copy, paste, and see here only one version at that time it was there, only one file. Later on I added multiple files. So like this, you see here this file, see workspace got updated only with that file. Now you want to get the latest one, git checkout master. What is the master? I'll talk about it, but see here all files has come. So you can, it's so fun, right? You're working with Git is so fun. You keep working, keep adding, committing, keep sending. Now if you think you want to see the older version, check out this version, check out that version, check out this version, opposite way. So it's a fun, right? And we don't have any server here, so you can work independently with any your repository. You do whatever you want. You have a complete freedom. In this case, you know what, you adding, removing, deleting, modification, it takes lots of time because it happens on the network. But because of it's local, here everything you can do here, add commit, so fast. Again check out, so fast. So fun working with the Git in this way. And now interesting thing is you can work from anywhere. Here in this case, remember, you always need to be connected to the network. That's the problem, network. But here, because it's a local repository, you can work from anywhere. Let's say Goa beach or any other places, whatever you like. If you're in India, I think Goa is very popular. In USA, I don't know what is the location which is very popular for that, where you want to work from. Right? Got it, guys?
So Rajesh, is it like when you're doing commit, right? You're just taking the snapshot of the particular directory, all files, right? That's why we're checking
So
out.
whatever you move to the staging, it send that file to here and commit. It's a permanent commitment, permanent revision. Till that
Yeah.
commit,
So,
only you can compare.
mhm. So during checkout only, so those files present, that one will coming like we're restoring those
Yeah.
files.
So checkout means whatever you have already versioned that file, it will go
Mhm.
and replace this file here and update here. So you might have seen that first one has come immediately the moment they checked out,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? So it's so fun. It's like versioning tool. So guys, this is the basic workflow
So
with the
Rajesh, I have one question here.
yeah.
Yeah, suppose like I have one file a.txt and I did some changes, but while checking out, it will replace the a.txt in my working directory, right? So I just don't want to replace, so I'll restore the older version just to compare. So how to do that?
So in that case, let's say you want the older version and the newer version also, both the version you wanted.
Yeah.
So what you can do, there is a reset command. It's advanced scenarios actually. So what you can do, there is a reset command. So you can, instead of getting in the workspace, you can get here and then compare between these two. Okay. So there is a 3 kind of reset actually. So you can check it out, that commands reset. I think let me tell you in your scenario which one will work. Just a second. I will tell you. In your scenario, soft reset will work. See here. So if you want the no, soft reset will not work. V3. No, soft reset will not work. Mix reset. Mix reset will work for you. See here. In this image, in the repository you have a V1, V2, V3, and V3 you have in working directory. And if you do that soft mix reset to this, so V2, the older version, you get it in the staging, and then you can compare between V2 and V3. So that way you can do that. Okay guys, so now this is the basic workflow. Everyone have understood that? Everyone have understood that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I just stored all the commands also, so for the future reference. That's the now I'll talk about, guys, there is one big problem here, because after working together, see, in this model, if you see, this is me, Rajesh, this is, let's say, Raghu. Okay, so now I was versioning in my repository. So how do we share with other repositories? So let's try to understand this scenario in the new image. So it's very simple actually, guys. Look at this here. So now let me pick up some of you. Let's say this is me, this is Mahavir, this is Sayar, this is Suresh. Okay, so now how do we integrate, because each one of you have a repository. So what you can do is first time the one who's having repository, he is the super parent actually. Okay, so now what I can do here, I can ask to Suresh, Mahavir, and everyone, take my repository, sync. So this process is called clone. If I clone entire, you don't have a repository, by the way. Let me delete that repository just a second. You don't have any repository. I have only repository. So I was the first person in my project, so I had created that repository in my local machine only. So now Suresh can clone this repository. Everyone can clone that repository. Okay, so that way clone means it's a complete clone. That means whole file system. And when it's a clone, that means not of your working directory. I'm talking about this git.git I'm talking about. Okay, so that's a repository. So when you clone, you get entire things. Okay, so you all get entire thing. Now the question is, how do we collaborate together? So what we need to do in this, after the cloning is done, if I want to send this file to you, let me change the color here. If I send the file to you, This is called, because you have here repository, here repository. So I will do this push. If I will want to get it from you, I will do the pull. Simple. Push, pull, push, pull. So basically, guys, if you do the push pull on the time, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, all has the same repository. If you do the push pull on time, and all work against your local repository, and finally push pull, push pull, push pull. So basically here, repository getting synced. When I say push pull, that means each repository located on each machine getting synced with each other. Okay, are you getting my point? Conceptually, are you understanding this? Are you understanding this?
Yeah, sure. So
Conceptually?
One question, Rajesh. Machines need to be connected via internet.
Yes, in that case, of course. If it is a, see, if you are sharing the repository from one to another, but everyone is having every repository. Remember, everyone is having every repository in this case. So this has to be connected to the network. Okay, but till then you are working in isolated environment.
Yeah.
Okay, now the question here is, what will happen if you have 2-3 people? That's okay, that still is fine. I can talk to any of you. But if you have 20-30 people in your team, then who will talk to which one? This is like a kiosk will be created, right? I need to talk to this guy, this 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 guy. So many people need to talk to each other. This is not a good. So what to do in this case? Then typically we decide, okay, no, let's not talk to each other. Though you can talk to each other, there's no problem in it. You can talk to each other, there's no problem. But we don't talk to each other. Why? We say, no, boss, it's going to be creating a chaos. Actually, let's create one central repository. Remember, I am not saying server. Understand that. I am not saying server. This is a central or remote repository, which is owned by entire team. So now you do the clone and push pull from here only. So that way, this will be running 24/7, and you can, whenever you want, push pull, clone, whatever you want, you can get it done. So this is called, for me, let's say I'm Rajesh, this is my repository. For me, it's a local repository. This is a remote repository. This is my local repository. This is my remote repository. In fact, for me, all these repositories remote repository, but this repository you can say central repository. Guys, there is no server concept. Be mindful about it. So this is called central repository of Git. This is called remote repository of Git. This is called remote repository of Git for me. Okay, so where is keyword? Just be very careful while using the keyword. Central repository, I said, not set central server. There's a different meaning of server. There's no server in Git. I told you it's a distributed concept. So there's no server of a Git. So in this case, we all communicate with this one. What do you say? Central repository. Now, what has happened over the period of time? People started demanding, boss, I need a better feature. What is the better feature you want? So I don't want to only manage one repository. I want a place where I want to manage multiple remote repository. Do we have a Git have that feature? No. Then some people started demanding, boss, I need a GUI. I cannot work with like this. Visualization, I need it. Git has that feature? No. Many people started, I need a wiki integration. Wiki, you know, that document sharing, you know. Git has that feature? No. Many people started saying that I need a issue integration tool. And many more features. And Git says, no, I don't have that feature. That is where, see, developers love the Git because Git has given a freedom. But, you know, organization, enterprises hated Git a lot. Trust me, hated Git because there is no security. There is no control. There is no auditing stuff available. They cannot do the role-based authentication and authorization. That means I will give only read access, write access. Which organization wants to give it? They want to manage hundreds of repositories, which is not possible in Git. So how do we do that? Then who will make them happy? Developers wants to use Git because they get a freedom for everything, adding, deleting, renaming, merging, branching, this, that, seeing, comparing, speed, they get it. But organization hates it. Then that is where many product has come up. For example, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, all this thing, that, right? You might have heard about this. So these organizations says, no problem, I will provide all this feature. At my platform, you can manage multiple remote Git repository. You can have a wiki. We can have a GUI, graphical user interface. You can have a role-based authentications. You can manage your organization, team, project, this, that. So these tools become very popular. And then from the Git to GitHub. So guys, you can say this tool, this place as a GitHub server. Never ever call Git server. If you do the Git, if you call the Git server, that means you have not understood the Git properly. GitHub server, that's okay, because GitHub is a different tool. Git is a different tool. Are you getting my points? What I'm trying to say? Guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the GitHub, guys. I don't think so. Anyone who's not familiar with the GitHub. What do we do? So many. See, I've created so many organizations. These are the organization. Each organization, let's say, you have this is the organization where we store the notes. So many repository you can create. These are the remote repository for me. Remote repository. Okay. So I will go ahead inside the temp. Do we have a temp somewhere? Here it is. I will go ahead and I will create one demo repository for you. What is that? Anything, you just name it, get one. Okay, and it public. Okay, and create it. So this is the I created a central repository, remote repository, but GUI, you see here, wiki is here, issue tracking is here, many other features are here, action, project, setting, insight, so many features you have. Okay, so here, what do you want to do? So I want to push this code here from, so right now this code I want to push it. So what do we do? So git push what? This URL. And which branch? Branching I'll talk about in a little bit of time. This branch I want to push. I'm pushing. Okay, pushed. You must be wondering why didn't ask user ID and password. So let me tell you guys, it's stored actually for me. For you, it will ask you user ID and password. By the way, this is the HTTPS protocol. So here there's a two protocol which Git allows actually. Git allows two protocol. So here if you want to connect with clone, push, pull, you can do through two protocol. One is SSH, one is HTTP. SSH you need a keys, HTTP you need a user ID and password. So I use the command line right now, HTTP, that it should prompt me user ID and password, but it did not because stored in my system. I've used it previously. Okay, so now refresh this. Done. Guys, here 3 commits. Visually you can see that. Do whatever you want. Now other people, let me act like other people. Okay, so here let me open up a new Git Bash. I'm acting like another person. Okay, mkdir, other person, another cd, another. Okay, you see here it's empty. It's empty. So I'm acting like another person. I want to clone it because I don't have that. I want to clone it. I cloned it. And guys, I got this here. You see here, this source code, I got it. If I go again, you got the same file and same repository. I want to work with it. So now this is, I'm acting like a different guy. Okay, so here what I will do, I'll modify some file or I'll create a new file. So vi ramo.txt, I added one new file. Very important source code. I spend 5, 10, 20, 30 nights or weeks wasted, and I wrote this code. Trust me on that. Okay, so here I stored this code, and you see git status. Now you same command, guys, you see it's in working directory. I send to staging, you see here, and can commit another user is committing, adding another, and you see it reported you didn't set the username and email address. So git, because every repository you have to set git config. Now you know that, so I am not going to explain it. Rajesh Kumar, you can set another guy, no, another guy here, user dot email @something.com, and git commit -m. I committed means local repository, adding, and then git push origin. Why origin? You can give the URL also, but what happens when you clone that this long name you see, it get added to aliases called origin. So master, guys, it won't prompt me because user ID and store. And you see the file I pushed it, ramu.txt. Here you see, refresh, other guy, ramu.txt. Now if you see first guy, Rajesh, do I have that file here? Do I have that file? See, ramu.txt is not there. So what I need to do? Git pull an URL. But here, because it's a new it's a fresh repository at that initial repository which I had it, that origin is not linked to that URL. So if I do origin, you see that it says that origin is not there. So what is origin? So origin is aliases. It can be anything, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, anything it can be. But typically first remote repository, what we name it, as per the practice, we keep it origin. So how to create now? So git remote add origin. That means you are adding the reference of remote. Okay, adding the reference of remote named with origin, linking to which URL? This URL. Simple. I did it. Now push pull, and now guys, ramu.txt, I got it. So guys, this is the way you work. See here what you do what you do here. Do whatever you want in the local repository. Do whatever you want. Again, I'm reminding you, adding, deleting, renaming, branching, merging, anything you do in a local repository. And after that, push. You want others file, pull. From what? GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. Did you understand this concept? Did you understand this concept?
Yeah.
Any
So
questions?
Rajesh, one question, like suppose like I have like 3 developers. So unless until the developer one haven't pushed, cannot pull from central liquid, right?
Of course, yes. If you want, if you want to share your code, you have to push it. If I want to get your code from the GitHub, I have to pull it. This is the understanding you have to build it.
Okay, so everything goes through the central only. You cannot go,
Yes,
cannot
everything
go.
goes to the central repository only. Again, I can talk to you directly also, but there'll be chaos, right? Because
Yeah,
there'll
that's
be
it.
embarrassment, right?
Yeah.
Should we do a git pull before doing a git push?
Yes, you will be forced to do that. If you do the git push before git pull, you will be forced to do the git pull. So that's a default feature actually. But the practice, what it says, before committing itself, okay, practice says before committing itself, you should do pull first, or fetch. Pull or fetch, anything will work. Okay guys, so here I
Rajesh, one more
tried to
question. I have one more
yeah.
question. Like as you told, like GitHub is free, right? So who will pay for this storage? Because you're putting files there, and is there a limitation how much size should be you can use per like there is no
I think
subscription like
2 GB,
per.
I believe 2 GB. I have to check. Bitbucket, I know it's a 2 GB, but again, let me tell you here, the repository which you have stored it, that should be public, And if you want to make it private, little bit of amount you have to pay. In fact, GitHub Enterprises are there, which is paid service actually. So depends. Nowadays, many things is coming free for many other reasons also.
Yeah, because free, right? So we are putting files which should be the consume the storage, right? So somebody should pay the storage.
I mean, someone is paying like a see. It's like this. You look at the Gmail model also. They use the advertisements. So GitHub is right now non-profitable organization. They're getting no profit center, but sooner or later they'll be converting their GitHub to some sort of premium services or something like that. In fact, GitHub is already serving the premium services in terms of enterprises, and many organizations are using. For example, I'll tell you here. Let's say you are using GitHub and you got a fond of it, you got a habit of it. Then when you go to the your company organization, then they ask you what you want: GitHub, Bitbucket, or GitLab. Of course, you will tell GitHub because you got familiar with that right now.
Yeah.
Because all this has the same feature. So it's all about like how can you make a habit of people so they can use that for the enterprise solution. Okay, guys. So now let's move on to the next topic. So I hope you have understood. Now, next topic is Git branching and merging. Okay, Git branching and merging. Now, this is a very tedious topic actually. I'll try to finish it off in a better way. Again, you know, lots of things can be discussed. Git also has lots of things. But I just want to give you the exact things which you needed on daily basis, not unnecessarily jargons and commands which you are not going to use on every day. So it's like this. So here, Git branching. So by default, when you create any repository, whenever you
I
create a
have one more
repository,
question. Sorry to disturb. I have one question. Like, so it's public repo, right? So we cannot keep any password or things, right?
of course, anyone can see it. Huh? Anyone can see it. Public
So is
means
there
anyone
any
can.
encryption option is there?
No, we don't need that those stuff, right? There's no encryption required. You're storing the public, I mean, files in your public repo. Those will be accessible by anyone. Let's not talk about the security at all in that scenario, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, let's talk about the branching and merging strategies. So what is a branching and what is a merging strategy? So if you look at this here, every repo you create, you will get one branch by default, and that's called master. And that's the reason you might have seen, I don't know how many of you have noticed, see here master. So that's a default branch you work with. Now the question is, why do we create a branching? So there are many reasons for it. Sometimes you create a branching for bug fixing. Sometimes you create a branching for enhancement. Sometimes different geographical areas, different teams are located. So different reasons are there. But earlier, in the era of SVN and Perforce, branching used to be very costly. Why? Because it duplicate the data, space, storage, this, that, and all. But in a Git, branching is damn cheaper actually. You just occupy a few KB of data. It don't duplicate your entire thing because it's not based on the revision. It's based on the object concept. So because of that, they just link that whatever you want to object link with. So by default, you get a branch which is called master, and you commit here. Let me recreate this here. So this is the master branch, and I committed one commit, two commit, three commit. Okay. Now if you want to take a branch out of it, I created a new branch. This is called feature one. So feature one also, this is the fourth commit, but this commit and this commit matching, and then one and two you got it here also because it's link. It's not copying physically, just link it because every commit has their own parent commit also. So this is the way you can branch it out. So how do I create a branch? So basically there's two kind of branches, local branches and remote branches. I'll not complicate too much here right now in this session, because if you want to learn in detail, you have a lots of advanced videos are there on LMS, learning management system. It's available for everyone. Please look at it and spend some time. But I'll make it very straightforward. What is a local branch I'm talking about here? Okay, so local branch is like Docker, Git branch. It will show you the local branch. So right now you have only local branch master. This asterisk sign means this working directory is having code populated from that branch, master branch. Okay, so like that. How can I see all the branches? A. How can I see the remote branches? R. Many things are there actually. But right now I'm not talking about the remote branches. Unnecessarily it will create confusion right now. So how do I create a local branch, new local branch? So let's say I want to develop a new code. But don't want to disturb the master. What do we do? Simple. I'm in a branch v1. Simple. Now you see here, I got the two branch. Asterisk sign still denoted to master branch. That means my workspace is populated with the code from the master branch. Can I work with a v1 branch? Check out command. Guys, now you see here, I was master here. Now I am a v1. So now my workspace is populated with a v1 branch. Why this copy of the files is same? Because both the branches is the same copy. I did not modify. Now can I modify this here? So here I'm in the v1 branch, remember. So touch v1.txt git add dot git commit -m adding v1. This is the v1 branch I'm added. Code is added already. Now you see here in this v1 branch you have one additional file which I committed just now in front of you, and git checkout master branch. You see there is no v1 file. So what do we do in this case? In this case we merge. How you merge? Git merge, opposite way. So if you want to source branch which you want to merge with, you have to be in that branch. So merge v1 branch, and this is called fast forward merge. Okay, again I'm not confusing you too much with the too much technical, but you see here v1 branch has come. So yes, you create a branches and you do the merges like this. There's the command for it here. First I check out the master. See here, first I check out the v1 branch. Okay, then I created a new file, added a new file, committed a new file. Then check out the master branch. From the master, from the v1, I merge back to the master, and that's called this fast forwarding merge. But this is the merge has happened. Now you want to send this v1 file to the repository from origin master. Push, and sorry, not this one. This is the one. Git push. Where is the v1 by the way? It's here. Git push origin master. Done. And here refresh it. You got this. So here you have a v1 branch, v1 file here. Okay, guys, did you understand how can we work together with using the Git and GitHub? Any questions?
Can we initiate a code review before pushing to the remote repository?
Yes. So code review is not inbuilt with the Git, and GitHub you can do the code review through the two different remote repositories. That's called pooling functionality. So inbuilt is not there, but if you really want to implement the code review feature with Git, you should try Gerrit. Okay, Gerrit. So Gerrit is one of the tools which is developed by Google, where you can review the code before getting committed to the master branch. Those are the things it can be done. So Gerrit is a very popular one, but in a GitHub also, what you can allow in this, there's some features were there in the enterprise. I don't know if it's here or not. As of now, I cannot locate here. Yeah, so I cannot locate here. But here in the GitHub, what you can do, you can have a 2 remote repository, and you can push to your own remote repository. And if the owner feels that repository code which you pushed it's good, then you can pull that from that repository. So pulling between the 2 repositories is possible. So that is there. But inbuilt feature that's not available. You have to install some other extension for that. More questions, guys?
Hi Rajesh. I have one question.
Yep.
If I merging a branch from GitHub, then my code is got conflicted with other developers. Then how do I resolve?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I will help you here. So in the Git is very powerful in terms of resolving the conflict. Okay, Git is very powerful in terms of resolving the conflict. In one scenario, Git will not resolve that conflict, and that scenario is very valid for all the other tools also. If you modify the same file and same line in the 2 different branches, then Git will not be able to find out which branch, which file, which line I should take it up. Whether it can be between the 2 local branches also, or my branches and your branches also, because you ultimately work in the branches, I also ultimately work in the branches. And when you do the push pull, you do the branches also. So because I have I have to work here, so let me recreate the scenario here. So quickly, just for your demo, I'm recreating a file. So guys, look at this here very carefully. There is one file which is here in the master branch. I'm writing it vi master.txt. Okay, in the master branch. Okay, and here I said this is my world. Very simple line, one line. This is my world, all are in capital. Line number 1, remember. Git add, git commit -m, adding. Okay, done guys. Commit is done. Now what I'll do, git checkout v1 branch. Now here also I'll create file, same file name and same line number 1. This is your world. Conflict will happen, guys. Here I'm committing in the branch. Now same file, same line. Now come back to the master branch, checkout master. Now I will merge v1, and you see that. Read that message. There is failure in auto merging. Conflict has occurred. What do we do now? Git status. You see here. It says you have to resolve that unmerged path, that master.txt. If you open up the master.txt, you see the both the file. Which one you want? This is my world. This is from your own. This is your world from the v1. Which one you want? You have to decide first. This one or that one. Let's say I want the v1 one. So I will delete this guy and save it. Git add. Resolve the conflict. Commit the conflict. Resolve. And now you see here, done. Git remembers whatever you resolved last time. Git merge again v1. No problem. So this is the way, manual way you have to resolve the conflict. There's no other way. So whenever you get into the conflict, you will get this. Whenever you resolve the conflict, you get this. So you have to be in that context. Did I answer your question?
Yes, Rajesh. And I have another one. Actually, I want to add a test cases to my project. So I have one project and I want to add auto automated test case to my project, then how can I add? Means
Automated test cases.
every time I commit my code, then this test case has to be run.
Okay, so basically what you are saying, it's a very good question actually. You are saying how to allow, like whenever you commit, there should be some script should be executed. I don't care whether it's a test script or something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so that functionality can be done through hooks actually. That functionality is available in the Git. Now the question is, how can we enable that hooks? Let me tell you here, very simple. Go to the .git directory. There is one file you see, directory you find hooks. Go to the hooks directory and open up this file. Explorer, I open up all these things. So that means you can enable the check of running a script. That script can be anything like Java, JavaScript, Perl, Python, Ruby, whatever, I don't care. Can be anything. If that script, understand that, read my word. If that script which you are running through this phases return true, that command will be allowed. For example, in your case, if you want to run some script before commit, so if that script will return true value, then commit will happen. If the script will return that false value, commit will be rejected. So those script you can set it up. So now how the script has to be written, whether it will return true or false, what condition, that's I'll leave it up to you. You have to decide. But how can you enable that hooks, that I can show you here. So here you see all these are not enabled right now. Okay, in order to enable, first you have to decide at what incident you want to enable. Pre-receive, rebase, push, prepare commit message, prepare merge commit, pre-commit, apply patching, update, and many more. So here you can enable any of this, let's say pre-commit. Okay, and you can read also when it get triggered. So you open up this one. See here the example of hook script to verify what is about to be committed, called by git commit with no arguments. This hook should exit with a non-zero status after issuing an appropriate message if it wants to stop the commit. Okay, so here I am enabling this one right now. Just delete dot sample. This hooks is enabled. I did not added any script, by the way. I'll just do the one fake commit, sorry. So here touch rr1.txt git add dot git commit hyphen adding. This is a fake commit. See, okay, sorry, I was in the wrong directory actually. Now it's correct directory. This is the fake commit I'm doing. It allowed. Now can I not allow? So what I have to do, go to this script, and here you can call any shell scripting, Python scripting, any script here. Let's say I will exit one. Exit one means not allowing, error message through that script. So here you see here exit one. I committed second file. See, didn't allow. If I see exit 0 means return the success, true. 0 means success. So here see it allowed. Now instead of 0 and 1, what you can do, you can call some script, Python script or whatever it's script, and that script should return true and false. So you can say like, okay, you can call this your, let's say, test script. Okay, script and .sh, and in that end of this line you should execute that, and if all the test cases run successfully, then you should call exit 1 or in your script, or exit 0 based on the return value that commit will be done and not done. So this is the way you can use the hooks for all the situation. Did you understand my point?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, hooks can be enabled, but remember only two things. Hooks will be triggered only and only if this return true. I mean, hooks will be triggered at any cost, sorry, but return will be true, then that command will be allowed. If return will be false, then command will not be allowed. Now the question is, who decide whether it should be true and false? That script and the developer of that script will decide. Make sense?
Yeah.
More questions, guys? More
Under
questions, guys?
under master, can we create like subdirectory for, like, suppose I have application of different modules.
Yeah.
So,
Those are the regular things you can do. Why not? You can do that. You can do that very well. No, what is who will stop you? You can. I just copy here. No empty directory. Don't have empty directory. It should be some directory. Copy this stuff. Same way. Add commit. Same way. Just see here. I did right now. And add commit. Done.
just like every module have
Done.
different subdirectory under the master.
Yeah. Those are things you can. Guys, Vishnu is asking question. Can you send documents? Which document, Vishnu, you are asking me? So if you are asking me the tutorials, I will show you that. Guys, if you have any questions, any more questions left?
Yeah, sorry.
Adi?
Are you going to send us the command you are using on Git? Maybe we can try it on our own.
Yeah. I'll share with you the video itself. Don't worry about that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mahavir, any question? Raghu?
Rajat, what is the difference between public and private Git repository?
Private repository will be seen only by the you, and the you will allow someone to access. Public will be seen by anyone, but they can want to modify.
Okay, so somebody want to clone, then they need to ask
Aram
to
se,
the
we can do that.
freelancer.
Yeah. They can do that. Aram se. Yeah. No problem.
Okay,
Sayer, any
I'm-
question?
No, Rajesh, one question. What is a Git stash?
Okay, Git stash. This is a very good functionality actually. Yeah. So let me show you this one also. What is happening? I'll create one scenario here. See, I'm a very good programmer, though I'm a very bad programmer. Okay. So I'm working, spend so much of time, very busy doing coding. I modify so much of file, so much of code I have written, and that code is still not committed. Okay. The code is still not committed. So many files I have written, lots of hard work I did, and code is not committed. Maybe it's in the working directory only and or staging area. So that is the kind of case I am having right now. But suddenly you see here Git status. Suddenly you see here still not committed. I cannot commit this code because I have not tested it. It's still I'm working on it. Maybe it's in working directory or staging area, any of these places, not the repository. Suddenly my manager is coming and saying, Rajesh, you need to stop working on it. You need to start working on something else, but the same source code. Remember how many workspace I'm having? Only one. Remember, only one. So what I'll do with this code? Then typically what you will do, you'll copy the code to some different directory and then start working on it. Clean this directory and then start working on it. That's not a good practice. Typically what we do, we send this file to stash. How can you do that? See that. First thing, stash -- list. Do you have any just a second, not -- list. Do you have any stash? No. I will create a stash. How? Done. And you see here, after stashing, your work directory is clean. That's stash. Now after that work is completed, you want to get those code back. Git stash apply and then ID. So ultimately, what is stash? And you got this code back. So ultimately, what is stash? Stash is a way to store the changes temporary at some location in a repository, and clean your working directory so you can take up another work. Did you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So you can use the stash. You can stash, drop, apply, list. So many commands are there. Wonderful command actually.
So
Okay,
we
guys.
can
Any
keep
other question?
any longer time, or is there a timeline to
Any
use?
as long you want. The stash will be available as long as you want it. Till you drop it,
Mhm.
you get it. You will be having those temporary files location.
Is there any way to only stash, get back only few files from stash, not all the things?
No. Think about it. Here we are working. Remember, when you stash, it stashed all of your temporary file from the workspace and staging area. So basically, not like particular files you want to take it up. But what you do in that case, you modify only those files we want to stash up. Simple.
Yeah, because I'm stashing a lot of files and just only one file from that. So it's
No, it will be fast actually. Don't trust me on that. Git is very fast because everything is local, right? Not remote, not network. More questions, guys? Okay.
Rajesh, can we
So
commit single file only?
yes, you add a single file, you commit. Okay. You send, your question probably is like you added multiple files, but in that you want
Yeah.
to commit only single file in staging area. Is that so?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So commit, when you do that, no, after that space and give the file name, then it will commit only those files, not everything. So when you give the commit command without any specification, that it will commit everything from staging. If you give the file name separated by spaces, that it will commit only those stuff.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Any more questions?
Rajesh, in a project, if we have multiple repositories and we want to work on it, like clone a single clone command to clone all the repositories and
No,
making
not possible.
changes.
One repository, one clone. Simple. One repository, one clone. You have to clone multiple repository manually or through some script.
Okay.
Okay,
Can we
guys.
add CI integration to GitHub?
Why not?
Actually,
In
uh,
Jenkins, we'll do that.
okay.
Jenkins will do that. Any other questions, guys? Okay. So guys, how can you practice it? This recording I'm going to share with you, but again, you know that if you don't know Git tutorial, you can find it here. Slides, you can find it here. In the slides, you can find it. Git related slides here. Videos of Git, you can find it at LMS. You have access anyways, so check it out, LMS. And by the way, some videos you will find it at this place also, and this place also. LMS will be having the current recording anyways, I'll share with you. In LMS you have so many advanced recordings also. Please check it out. Now the question is, where do we find our notes? So notes I'm uploading right now in front of you. I'll share with you in the WhatsApp group also. So here, GitHub, and notes, and the notes for you is DevOps Certified Professional DCP, and this is the 2020, and this is a Git, right? So Git, what is the date today? 26 May 2020 .txt. Guys, create a fav list or add in the fav list, so that way you don't have to get lost. This repository is a very important for all of you. You can make it a watch star, all these things. So yeah, I'll share this repository after this. Okay, guys. So see you in the next.
One question actually. What is a forking there? You can say that fork it to.
Yeah. So see, if you want to, it's like this. Clone, you know that you are getting the clone in my local repository, a local machine, laptop. But forking means cloning, but it will be that you will be owning that. So let's say if you fork my repository, this one, you will get the entire repository, but at GitHub only. But that you will be owning it. Okay, that means you can write it, modify it, whatever. That means this is the cloned, but at GitHub only. That's called forking.
Okay.
Under your ownership. Okay, so that way what you have to do, if you fork it, then you won't get up to date here. So you always have to do the pull, okay, from me. Or if you want to send something to me, I have to take it from you. So that's a pull request. Here it is. So GitHub to GitHub communication, that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So see you on Thursday for the next session. And I'm going to share with you all these recordings and all this stuff. Please keep practicing it. If you have any questions, post it in through emails, contact@devopschool.com, or support group also will help you. Okay.
Thanks for watching. To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.